Penguin Random House Audio presents Is This My Final Form? This is the author, Amy Gerstler. For Alexis Smith, 1949 to 2024. Artist, mentor, friend. Internal division, mystical affinities, shape-shifting can be fertile. The way through the stone door needs many vehicles, plural morphologies, and metamorphoses. Marina Warner. When I was a bird, my forward drooping head plume bobbed as I walked. I liked to conceal myself among rocks. I broke bad news to bees when needed. Dried feet of my species were prized by museums, so our nests tended to be tucked among cliffs. The best parts about being a bird were absence of shame, quick, passionate mating, how my body passed through yours mid-flight, and the pinprick tickle of swallowing seeds. Thus I lived, as bristle-thighed curlew, red-mustached dove, bald ibis, or mask-shining parrot. My obvious gravitas noted and admired. Why we died out I cannot say. Later in the day I'll have a little think about that, about how I keep mixing up worlds now that the old answers no longer suffice. A swift and reliable messenger. When I fell, I landed quite lightly, beneath the notice of all but a handful of ants. One spring, I laid eggs with lavender spots. As a fuzzy-headed chick, my alarm call but an anguished hiccup, I once observed a scurry of squirrels concealed in a hollow tree, wearing 17th century clothes. Alas, no one believes me. Part 1. The Bride of Frankenstein. Late at night, I glimpse my ideal woman. Problem is, she exists only on TV. Nonetheless, I am smitten. Seams divide one perfect cheek into 3 continents. Her impersonation of an angry swan is so feral that I long to fill my mouth with feathers. She walks stiffly, this actress on stilts, as if her joints don't work. Her eyes dart like a prey animal's. She's on screen only 3 minutes, yet in that brief time manages to channel both startled newborn and enraged caged predator. A crumbling puppet, her lipstick like ink. Her legs were bandaged so tightly on set, I read, that she was unable to move and had to be carried. When the film opens, before she becomes monster, she wears a white net dress with sequins shaped like butterflies, moons, and stars. Censors objected to the neckline of that gown. What an ultimate striptease it would be if her bandages peeled. She could continue to speak swan. I wouldn't mind. On stormy nights, our bed would become an elevator, ascending the floors of a blackened castle, bursting clear through the roof, penetrating an electrified sky. In each of her movies I read she was asked to scream. Now she screams without my even having to ask. Marigold. 1. Today I'll listen to whatever music Spotify has in mind. Concerto for Black Holes and Slime Molds by the Panty Sniffers? That algorithm knows me so well. I've pitched myself under this magnolia tree heart first before I get lobbed anyplace worse. No more of Grandpa's stuffed marlin glaring at me from the living room wall. No more robocalls offering to restructure debt never incurred. No more doom scrolling, for the moment. I've retreated to the bosom of nature, where bird chirps whir like sticks being fed into a wood chipper, and magnolia leaves clatter into my lap like leather wings. Mary has flown off to Mexico. She believes in UFOs. She wants to be called Marigold now, to leave her sad past behind and bask in the mysteries of sex and drugs and panhandling and side hustles. And is that really so bad? 2. It seems really bad, or at least alarming to me. Though I, too, was a hot mess in my 20s so long ago, in a different era and circumstance. I'm still a sunken ship, riddled with eels, I'll admit that up front. But since I'm using Marigold's trials and travails as a thinly veiled excuse to blab about myself, let's get back to her. Marigold's nose runs constantly. She suffers from asthma and eczema. She loves animals, toddlers, psychedelics, and girl bands. We share 3 of these 4 loves, since I've been reduced by advancing age to pretending I prefer booze to hallucinogens. In the violent tides of her 20s, Marigold shed the last of her baby fat, then graduated from stumbling spiritual seeker to apprentice sensualist. She wants. 3. She wants to spit in capitalism's tea to impress older, heavily tattooed fellow sensualists, the kinds who leave teeth marks, kick patriarchy in the nutsack, darken her hands with red and ochre dirts of other worlds, learn 5 languages but only by osmosis, while chasing 99 kinds of buzz and trying to pull free from the tar pit of history. At her age, one is pure urge. Life is a wildfire. So it's no big sin that her bedroom resembles a place where, among all their hoardings, a pair of hoarders just staged a 24-hour wrestling match. I just worry about her. Like I have the right me, who brims with wrongful convictions all day, then tucks herself into bed each night with 10 stuffed animals and an Ambien sandwich. So, what am I trying to say? 4. Am I saying, Marigold, that in your attempts to enter heaven you're crashing the wrong gates? That I wish you'd find life-guiding messages someplace other than in sidewalk scatters of pollen? Oops, I do that, not you. Clearly projection is one of my sins. Maybe your determination to get lost is a valid response to any decade in which people feel they're about to be vaporized daily. It's a crippling time to be young. I want the magnolia to reach down its branches and hug me. My 20s were a rapturous tantrum, during which I aspired to be lady, tiger, and pirate rolled into one. When I try to recall that madness, it seems like it never really happened, or as if it did to someone, but I'm not sure I was ever there myself. The Bible as literature. She clubbed her new husband to a pulp with a fire extinguisher when she was young. These things happen. Years later, I met her in a class called The Bible as Literature. We learned that books on scrolls unfurl in just one direction, surging forward like waves breaking. Paged books, however, allow us to jump around in a narrative, go back, leap ahead, as many of us ache to do at times in our lives. Whether I should have known that the way her face broke into cubist fragments as I tried to memorize it was a sign she would soon turn the page on me, whether despite her absence I continued to love her in slow-dripping biblical time racked by sky-cracking thunder and slaked by puddled honey, or whether she flashed in and out of my life like lightning, I will not say. She needed to keep moving. If you can make out the shape of her person from behind this prison of horizontal bars, the lines of this poem, you're a better man than I. Novice. I have a strong wish to see God for myself, so I surrendered my name. Anonymity suits me. My soul is a perpetual request, a crumpled candy wrapper. In chapel, we lower our heads and ask to be forgiven. I pray to be cured of being me. Not quite ready to exit the sensual, I gulp the mountain air as though it...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?